Hi friends, hope you're doing well. I'm Dr. Milind. So recently NEET PG 2024 was concluded, and after the exam, now there are a lot of questions in the minds of PG aspirant. Now result will take some time, and I know there is a lot of anxiety about the results and what will happen, but there is also a question that what should I do now? Because see, if I have to tell you that what should be the next best plan. See, we cannot decide the every step of life, but at least we can make some plan that will give us some direction about what should be the next. So, if you ask me, so we are almost in the end of August, and your results to come out it will take some time. Then you'll have few rounds of counseling for NEET PG, and then your colleges start. So it will be September and October first week it will take for everything to happen. I'm saying the till the end of counseling. Now, if you are someone who has written, a good, if you feel that your NEET PG 2024 was good, and I'm sure most of you have written a good paper and will get amazing results. But it's never a bad idea to have a backup plan. I always talk about that. One exam cannot decide whether you are a good student or a bad student. Sometimes there are your best days. Sometimes your best is not good enough for that particular day. So having a one eye on INICET, I don't feel that's a bad or that's a wrong decision. I understand that you are fatigued, you are bored, studying and doing the same thing again and again, and these exams keep coming. So what should you do? But what I feel that if you are someone who have doubt about your NEET pitch, and if you feel like you might have a borderline rank, and you feel or you feel you are someone who feels that you can still do better, because when I got my NEET PG rank, I was still not happy and I wanted to pursue my post graduation in AIMS particular. So I wanted to go for NICT. So if any of this ticks your box and you want to go keep going for the NICT, I will say it's not far ahead. It's around 80 odd days that you have in your hand. So you can definitely just keep going with the same momentum. Or if you're someone who is starting afresh, so I just want to help you with some a small planner that will help you in planning for this exam. So I would say that yes, definitely NICT is a backup plan, and it can be a backup plan, an excellent backup plan because the exam is not very far ahead. Also, if you look at the seat numbers, so there are a lot of new aims. There was just one aims initially, then there were six new aims added in 2012, and after that there are multiple aims that are there. So increased number of INS definitely increase the chances of getting a seat. And yes, if you make a good plan and if you continue your dedicated efforts, you can definitely go through. And recently, a lot of students said that NEET PG was, kind of INI kind of pattern. So yes, you can definitely crack INI. A lot of students have, this doubt in their mind that INI is a different exam. It's not. Your preparation with the efforts will definitely bring the result. So here I want to propose one sample strategy, and I know, see, you all have been doing a lot of planning. It is just to help you, just a skeleton. You can modify it as per your comfort. So I would say that if you're someone who have already prepared, and I think in most of your cases you have been preparing for this NET PG, so it would be just a continuation of your revisions. So if I calculate from 20th of August, we have 80 around 80 days till your exam day. So I would try to divide into three parts: 40 days, 25 days, and 15 days. So that will make total 80 days. And sources will remain the same. See, I feel that 80 days is not enough time to start with a new source. So if you someone feel like no, my exam was not good and I will change the source, I don't think that's a great idea. Just what you need is actually a better revision. So how are we going to distribute these days? So first 40 days. So if you're someone who has already read and did multiple revisions, I'll say I'll say go again for a slow revision because it will be again a conceptual revision. See, NEET PG this year was more of a INI kind of paper, and INI is INI. So you'll have a lot of tricky questions. You'll have a lot of concept based questions, and to understand that you should understand the concept because question will be from the area that you know, but there will be very tricky questions. There will be a lot of twist to it. So that is why reading slow, understanding concept. So no matter how the question is asked, you'll be able to solve it. Also go through all the part of your notes. In revision, sometimes we just read the highlighted points, and sometimes things in between are lost. They are gone out of your visual memory. So it's very important to again refresh that visual memory in this initial part of your revision. So do that, and it will definitely help you to strengthen your foundation for your preparation. Now, how to strengthen your weakness? See, when I was preparing for my exam after giving multiple attempts, when I started working as a JR in AIMS New Delhi, I realized planning is as important as preparation. We put so much of efforts into buying notes, attending classes and all, but we fail to plan. And I realized, to do, because you have such a huge competition, 1.2, 1.5 lakh students competing for the seats. So it's very important to have that wise and smart plan. And one thing that can actually help you is grant test. See, we know we have luxury now that we have a lot of platform available, which give you the grant test. So when you analyze your grant test, you have to understand your weak links. For example, you have to make the subjects 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. List down, write them down. That these are your weak subjects, and you have to spend more time on that. So when you start your revision, when you start your first reading, you start with these subjects. See, for example, during my preparation, microbiology was one of the weak links that I had, and that actually affected my rank in initial attempts. So I started my next revision with that, and by making that subject strong, actually it boosted my confidence during the preparation time, and it did wonders in my actual exam. And what you can do, see, sometimes maybe some of you don't like to read biochemistry, or maybe pharma, some of you might be finding it boring, or ophthalmology. So what you do now, what my teacher used to say, combine this subject with one of your favorites. So I used to find Dharma very interesting and easy to read, like radio very easy to read. So you can combine this subject, like you combine your let's say biochem with Dharma. So you get a feeling of accomplishment that you are completing the subject as well, and you are reading the subject of your choices. So how can we, you know, I know it's difficult, but how can we fit all into these 40 days? So this is how we can do. So you can, I have the subjects on the left side of this chart. So these I will call they are very important subject because they are high yield subject and maximum questions you will usually get from this subject. And these subjects are also important, but I would say that we will keep them as a add-on subjects. So for anatomy, biochemistry, you give 4 days each. And so R1 is your revision one. So first that is a 40 days. So anatomy, biochemistry, you give 4 days each. For patho, pharma, micro, obgyn, you give 5 days each. And for surgery and medicine, which are usually a huge chunk of material you have to read, give 6 days each. Now hours, how many hours daily? So I will show you the breakdown of each day as well. So I think around 7 to 8 hours you can spend on reading this high yield subject. Now in revision 2, so that will be around 20 odd days. So you can, you will have to, and you will have to try to cover the whole subject of anatomy, biochemistry, pathopharma in 2.5 days. See why, like I know it's difficult, but we have done it by just going through the highlighted points. So in revision 1 you will try to go through the notes. You don't have to stop at every point, but you have to see now, as you have already completed your multiple revisions, so it will be easy for you now, and you will be doing it in a faster way. Okay. So in revision 2 the number of days will increase, and I have given you the breakdown, so you can spend number as per them. For smaller subject, or the subject which will be add-on subject, so these on the right side of this chart, these are your add-on subject. So you add this subject on a day. I'll show you how you are going to do it. And these are the days distribution. Now if you add the days on the right side, you will find that you will get around 7 to 8 days less, like around 33 days. If you add this, it is around 30 to 33 days. So remaining 6 7 days you can use for your grand test. So every day you will get around 3 to 4 hours daily for the 6 to 7 days. So you can give your grand test in that time. And this for the subjects on the right hand, you can give around 4 to 5 hours daily. Okay. Now how do you do it? So if you don't understand this is a simple breakdown. So for example, if you're starting from 20th of August, what you will do, so you will try to complete, will try to read anatomy from 20th of August till the 23rd of August. So daily you will read from 7 to 10, that is around 3 hours. Then again from 2:30 to 5, that is another 2.5 hours. And then from again 8:30 to 10 p.m. So that is how, so 3 times you are reading this major subject. So around 7 hours you are giving for it. And you are adding some subject like from the list, from this list. So I have shown it in a one group. So physio, peds, ophtha, ENT, PSM, ortho, derma, psychiatry. So you can add it to it. So suppose you are reading anatomy with derma. So derma you'll read between 10 to 12, and also again between 6 to 8. That is 4 hours of daily you are giving to this small subject. Okay. Spend time on lunch. For half an hour you'll spare for lunch. And then I have talked about modules and first aid book. So what are the modules? So as I said, either you can use grant test to revise your weak links, or you can use the subject wise module. So if you feel like you are scoring less in biochemistry or microbiology, you can do the modules during this time. Now PYQs. So the before sleeping I would suggest PYQs. If you have seen the recall videos of NEET PG 2024, or even if you have seen the interviews of different people or the polls that had happened, A lot of students have said that there were topics that were repeated, and again and again I have said this multiple times. Doing PYQs, going through previous year questions is extremely important. Going through previous year topics is extremely important because they do repeat. No matter what people say, they do repeat. Now here between 5 to 6 p.m. I have talked about one particular book, that is USMLE first aid. Now this is something I want to share with you, that when I was in again when I was preparing for my exam, when I got to know got to meet these top rankers, I realized the importance of this book. There was one very simple line said one of by one of these toppers, that read this book, it will help you somehow. And that actually line hit me, and I started reading this book. So trust me, as the all the exams are slowly shifting towards MLE kind of USMLE kind of pattern, this book is going to be a game changer. It's an all-rounded book. You'll see very basic things given in a very concise way, and it requires little investment and maximum output. Even if you read like 3-4 pages daily, a lot of MCQs can be solved from that. And if you are not read it, if you have not read it till now, start it. It's not late. At least try to read it 2 to 3 times before your exam, because reading just once won't suffice. And don't be overconfident, because if you look at the book, it's a small book and you will feel like, "Arey, I can read this book anytime." No, it's a very high book. So reading every page has so many things to remember and to read. It's one of the difficult book to read, but it's fun. So you can definitely you add this to your preparation. Lastly, INICET is, again, I'll say 50% preparation and 50% how you attempt paper. And how can you attempt a good paper? By good MCQ practice. Previous year questions and previous year topics will always remain the high tilt. So don't neglect, at least for INICET, last 3 to 5 years, that will make around 6 to 8 sessions. You should know all the topics from this area. If you want to start your revisions, if you feel like, sir, I don't know what to start. Tomorrow I want to start reading, but which subject to start with? Start with basic sciences. Either it's the subject that you are weak in or the basic sciences. Basic sciences means your first and second row subject. If you're good in that, your INICET rank will be better. Go for smart study, not for hard. What is a hard work basically? Just reading from line to line is what hard work. Smart study means you see topics, what are the important areas, tracing on them and going forward. So guys, I hope this video will help you. If you have any doubt, if you want me to elaborate on any point of this video, let me know in the comment box. And let's start walking toward your dream. I wish you all the best and take care.